Joining me now is Andrew LeBlanc, first round 2020 OHL Priority Selection pick of the Kitchener Rangers. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How's yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks so much for asking. So before we get into the past year and how you've kind of been able to integrate with the Kitchener Rangers, let's dial it back to the year before a little bit, to your minor midget season with the Southern Tier Admirals, where you recorded an outstanding 68 points in 31 games. Talk about that season and just how special it was with your brother, Jacob.
Yeah. So for sure, last season was probably the most fun, best season of my life. I think we had a really strong team. I had great line mates, Sam Alfano, who was also drafted to Peterborough, and Trent Swick. And we just overall as a team, as a line, we clicked really good. Our coach, Kevin Rosenborough, was great. And just overall, I think just we clicked well. Our team was extremely close and just had fun and did great.
That's great to hear. Everything kind of just went your way. Everything went well. It sounds like you had a lot of fun on the ice that year.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Awesome. Love hearing that. Well, before you were drafted 17th overall by the Rangers, did you kind of have a feeling that Kitchener was where you were going to land?
Not for sure. Like I knew, talking to my agent, that Kitchener was like interested in us. But to be honest, like going to the draft, I had no idea where I'd land. To be honest, though, I did hope to go to Kitchener because obviously it's like the best team in the CHL. So who wouldn't want to go?
That's right. You did mention that Kitchener was your top choice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you are obviously very offensively talented. You have this high hockey IQ, this great vision. Head coach and GM Mike McKenzie complimented your compete level and said you have some grit to your game as well. Well, as you mentioned, Kitchener was where you were hoping to go the most. So what makes the Rangers organization such a good fit for you and your strengths?
Well, I think obviously like the coaching staff and just talk to them so far. Like they're pretty young coaches and they know how we think, and they're just very offensive, and they let us have creativity. And I just think it's the perfect spot for me to be able to play.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure a lot of people know this by now, but in case they don't, you are a twin. You both got drafted to the Rangers last April, you and your twin brother, Jacob. So let's kind of talk about getting drafted with your brother. You've been playing together your whole lives, of course. I think I read the two of you kind of had decided, you guys are coming as a package deal. So I'm sure you're both more than pleased at how things turned out for the both of you. Maybe just walk us through what that day was like last April and name team.
Yeah, so like going into the draft, like we hoped that we talked to our agents and we hoped that we could get to the same team and go as a package deal. But like nothing's for sure. Like we didn't really know if that someone else would take him or someone else would take me before, how it would play out. So when we ended up going to the same team, we were just ecstatic, and like that was the goal from day one, and it happened. So it's great.
Has it sunk in now that you guys, you not only get to live out your dream as, going to the OHL, but you guys get to do it together. Has that feeling really sunk in yet?
I don't think, not until we really start playing, because with all the COVID, obviously it's been pretty hard, but like, I think still it's just amazing to be able to do it with him, because it obviously kind of suck if it was only one of us or the other way around, but to be able to do it together, it's just dream come true.
Now, you're this left shot offensive specialist, and Jacob is a right shot defenseman. So you guys kind of play these different games, but have this unmatched chemistry. What makes the two of you together such a threat on the ice?
I don't know. It's just kind of the twin thing. We kind of got that twin connection. We kind of just know where each other is all the time. And like, obviously we grow up together. Like we're so close. We kind of just, I don't know, I just have that connection.
It's just hard to explain. It's just something you guys have.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Well, how have the two of you kind of kept busy over the past year together?
So we have luckily we have a big gym in our garage with everything we need. So we've been staying busy. We've been working out in there. We've still been working out with our trainer as well, Nick Tambury. And on top of that, we got Mars blades. They're like the new roller blades. So we've been staying busy with that, as well as skates when we're not in the lockdown. And then just overall training, trying to stay busy doing school.
Awesome. Now, in terms of the communication with the Rangers organization, what have you guys kind of been doing to remain hockey ready and just ready to go and kind of just like maintain that team bond together? Have you guys been meeting regularly on Zoom? I know a lot of teams got their group chats going.
Yeah, we've been doing Zoom calls with the team, as well as back before the lockdown, we were doing skates up in Kitchener. And that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, a lot of great players have come through that organization. I think that goes without saying. They also have a really strong alumni program. Who would you say you're most excited to be able to learn from?
I'd say everyone. There's no one in specific. I think everyone there has a lot of experience with hockey, and everyone's like great at their job. So I wouldn't say one specific person. I'd say I'm just looking forward to learning from everyone.
Fantastic. And I mean, another Admiral graduate in Trent Swick will also be joining you guys with the Rangers. How excited are the two of you to be able to continue playing with him going forward?
Yeah, like he was my line mate too, which makes it even more special. So we played all together last year, and we had amazing chemistry. We did great. And then I didn't really expect that we'd be on the same team. And then when like we heard his name called with ours, we're just like we're surprised, but like it worked out perfect. And because he's a really good friend of ours, so
yeah, it sounds like it really did work out perfectly. And I know we spoke briefly after you got drafted last April, and one of the things you said is you really just wanted to kind of build up that confidence heading into the OHL, because it's a faster game. You're going to be playing with older guys, but I'm sure having this long-standing chemistry with your line mate and your brother has got to help make the transition a little easier, right?
Yeah, I think it's easier going in with like obviously my brother and one of my really close friends. It just makes everything easier. Can't wait to get started.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to kind of flip that question a bit. Who would you say you're most excited to be able to play against when the puck drops on the season?
I'd say for sure Sam Alfano on Peterborough, because he was also my line mate this year, but we've been line mates for 6 years. We played together on the Admirals for 8 years, something like that. And he's also one of my best friends. And so it'll be really interesting to play him.
Awesome. That'll be great. Now, the 2021 OHL Priority Selection is coming up next month. I'm just wondering, is there anyone in particular, maybe a friend of yours, maybe a former teammate that you're just really, really excited about, in the sense that they get their shot to get drafted by a team now? Is there someone you're just really excited for who's going to be able to go through that process this summer?
I don't think really anyone in specific. I know the 05 Admirals. I know a bunch of kids on their team, so I'd say I'm pretty excited for them and all the kids, because it's one of the best experiences you have is getting drafted. So I wish them all the best. And former teammates if there's a U18 draft, I don't know if that's coming up as well. There's a couple really good friends, Adrian Diodati, and a couple more that I wish the best and hope they do great in that.
Awesome. All right. Well, looking at all the steps you've taken over the past year, both on and off the ice, what would you say are the biggest steps you've taken to really prepare for your rookie season in Kitchener?
I'd say just overall getting bigger and stronger. I've gained quite a bit of weight. I've gotten stronger, just gotten overall more skilled and just been working hard.
So Andrew LeBlanc, first round pick of the Kitchener Rangers, sitting down with me now, giving OHL fans a little more insight into the type of player he is and giving everyone a chance to get to know you a little better. So just to kick that part off, we talked about your offensive strengths and just your impressive season with the Southern Tier Admirals. couple years ago now. But in your own words, can you describe yourself as a player and just why you're so excited to get started with this team?
I think I'm a real offensive player. I like to play a fun style. I like scoring goals. I like making plays, being creative, making nice moves. But I also I also get to the dirty areas. Most people might not see that part, but I like to play dirty. I like to mix things up a bit, get under the other team's skin, and just have fun.
Awesome. And you, again, you're the offensive specialist. Your brother is the defenseman. You guys kind of complement each other really well, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, you grew up in Port Colborne. That's not too far away from Niagara. So I'm just wondering if you attended a lot of IceDogs games growing up. I know they've also had a lot of good players kind of come through the organization in recent years. So I'm just wondering if there are any games or seasons or series or players that kind of stuck out when you think about those memories watching them growing up.
Yeah, no, we've been to actually quite a bit. And an interesting story with that, because we usually build a backyard rink. And one year there was a rink competition where, the best rink in like Niagara had the whole IceDogs team come over to your house. So we won it the one year, and we had like Dougie Hamilton, Ryan Strome, all those guys came to our backyard. This was obviously quite a while ago, and hung out with us in our garage. And I'd say that was probably one of the best experiences with them.
Wow, that is a really, really cool memory. Now, thinking back to memories like that, and now you're on your way to becoming an OHL player, is it kind of surreal to see it all come full circle like that?
Yeah, because obviously then we're all looking up to them like there's some gods, and now for us to be in that position, it's pretty cool. And have little kids look up to us like that.
Yeah, that's an awesome memory. Well, we touched upon your season with the Admirals, but I was just wondering if you can. I know you had a really fun year. You talked earlier about how much fun that whole season was, but can you think of a favorite minor hockey memory if you had to choose?
I'd say there's a couple. Big one was the Brick Invitational Tournament out in the West Edmonton Mall. I think we lost in the final, so obviously that sucked. But overall, that was a really big experience. And on top of that, I'd just say overall last season was probably the most fun season I've had, and especially the playoffs near the end. We played Oakville, and it went to a game 5, which was the final game. This overall, that series was probably a lot of fun, and winning that and going to the OMHAs.
I can only imagine. Now, in tandem with all those great memories, who would you say has been your favorite minor hockey coach, if you had to choose?
I think every coach has been great, but for sure my most recent one, Kevin Rosenborough, he came in, we've had him for 3 years, and I think he was really hard on us, but I think overall he really pushed us to be better and helped me learn a lot.
Well, you're not going too far heading to Kitchener. I think, what is that? A little less than 2 hours from Port Colborne?
Around 2 hours.
Around 2 hours. All right. So I'm just wondering what excites you most about getting to live in Kitchener?
Well, obviously Kitchener was the number one spot I wanted to go to. It's one of the more central teams in the OHL. So like my family, they'll all be able to come. Close friends, they'll all be able to come because it's not too far. And just overall, I think the city's great. The fans are great. If you go to one of their games that's sold out, the fans are great, and just everything about it just sounds great. I can't wait to get started.
Great. All right. Now, I was wondering if you could tell me what your hockey locker room nickname is, and if there's a funny story behind it, or anything you want to tell us about what it is.
Yeah, I've never really had like a certain nickname. Like some people call me Drew. That's what my coach called me, and lots of my teammates would call me last year. And other than that, it's just LeBlanc. Nothing too special. LeBlanc or Drew.
Are you both called LeBlanc now? Because there has always been 2 of you.
Yeah, they'll like say like LeBlancs or LeBlanc 1 or Drew. Like,
are you usually LeBlanc 1?
No, my brother, because he's the older one. So
right, he's a little bit older than you. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just wondering now, when you're getting ready for a game, what is your go-to pregame meal?
I've never been really too picky with that. Usually, I'd say chicken and pasta is the most common. I think everyone usually has chicken pasta, but I've had everything. And I'm not really too picky with that.
Fair enough. You're right. Chicken and pasta seems to be the most popular choice. But all right. So pregame meal out of the way. What about your pregame ritual? Are you a little more particular when it comes to that?
Yeah, I'd say I usually like to have a nap. Obviously, if I don't have a nap, it's not the end of the world. But other than that, I usually like to be the last guy to get dressed. Like some guys already have their full gear on, and I'll just still be sitting there with nothing on. But I like to, be the last guy to get dressed and the last guy ready. I like to have my sticks taped before every game, and I have my little warm up that I do before every game. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. All right. So what about your pregame tunes? Are you the guy in the locker room who has to listen to certain music before a game, or do you kind of just go with the flow?
Usually my brother, he usually played the music in the room last year. So I kind of got to say, I tell him to put on some songs, but I'm not really too picky. I kind of prefer rap or some pump up songs, good songs to get us going before the game.
So your brother's a little more particular.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we talked about, how great the fans in the arena are in Kitchener. Now, which OHL road arena would you say you're most looking forward to getting to play in?
Niagara, probably, I'd say, because that's where like all my friends would be there, all my, close family. And I think, yeah, that'd for sure be the biggest one because tons of people that I know would probably come.
I thought that's what you might pick. All right. I just have one more question for you. Yeah. What is the significance behind your jersey number?
7. My grandpa picked that out when I first started hockey, and I haven't changed from 7 since I stepped on the ice. And my brother's also 11, so some people like kind of make jokes about the convenience store 7-Eleven.
That's funny.
Yeah.
7-Eleven. Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue well, right? All right. Well, Andrew, thank you so much. It's been a real big pleasure trying to get to know you a little bit more. So thank you so much for your time. I just want to say I hope you're keeping well and healthy. And yeah, thank you for taking the time to chat about who you are and how excited you are to get going.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. This is the newest member of the Kitchener Rangers, Andrew LeBlanc, the 17th overall pick at the 2020 OHL Priority Selection.